This is Philip Tan. You're watching Mint Collectibles. Stay minty fresh.
What's going on, Geminites? It's your boy Gem Mint. We're here with the new comic book day reviews for Wednesday, June 24th. There wasn't a ton of books, but there was a lot of good books that came out today. Before we get started, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and let's jump into these reviews. Before we do so, make sure to check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com. If you want to buy any absolute editions, omnibus, trade paperbacks, or any other collected editions, they have them up to 50% off cover price. They have secure packaging with fast shipping and great customer service. They also have a bargain bin for titles up to 90% off. If you mention my name in the memo at checkout, your second order will have free shipping. So check out cheapgraphicnovels.com. Before we jump into the new books, I actually missed two books from last week. I don't know how I missed Strange Adventures issue 2. This is Tom King, Mitch Gerads, and Evan Shaner. This was an interesting issue. So you have this guy, Michael, who turns out to be, well, I guess I shouldn't say who he turns out to be, but it's this guy. He's constantly training his mind and his body throughout the entire issue. He's obviously genius level. He's a peak physical form. And we're not really sure who he is or what's going on with that. We find out at the end of the issue. And then you have Adam Strange. Nothing really much happened with him. We just get this kind of scene with him and his wife in the desert, and they get stranded. And I don't know if this is going to be leading into some of the questionable acts that he does that really has people wonder if he's really a hero or not. That's kind of where they're going with this. Solid issue. I enjoyed the artwork. I like the style of it. And I don't know how I didn't tell my LCS to put this in my poll last week, but I caught up. Same thing with the question. This is a DC Black Label oversized magazine format. This is Jeff Lemire, and then you also have Denise Cohen, Bill Sienkiewicz, I can never say his name, Bill Sienkiewicz, and Chris Sotomayor. So the question is dope, man. It's Jeff Lemire. It doesn't feel like the other Jeff Lemire titles that I'm reading, but it has like a detective crime noir type of vibe to it. We have this guy, he takes a case, he's trying to figure out another case, and it kind of feels like it might be connected, and that's kind of the theme of this issue. And the other theme is kind of like he's getting all the answers, but he still doesn't know the question. And it looks like there might be some kind of reincarnation, 3 different lives thing happening here. It's a weird book. It's on book 3. It's still a little confusing, but I love Jeff Lemire, and it's interesting enough. Nice, dark, gritty artwork, dull kind of colors. Like I said, like a noir vibe. All right, guys, let's go ahead and start with Marvel, and I really wanted to make this my pick of the week. This is Thor issue 5, Donny Cates. You have Nick Klein and Matt Wilson. This was a great issue. So you have the Black Winter. You have Thor and Galactus versus the Black Winter, and we learn more about what the Black Winter is, or really who it is. Now, I still don't really think it's who Donny Cates is telling us that it is, but it's a fan favorite Thor villain. So always an epic book when you have this Thor title. This is my favorite superhero book that's out right now. Almost made pick of the week. It's really almost a tie. All right, then we're back on Immortal Hulk. This is issue 34. This is the Al Ewing. You have Butch Joyce as the guest penciler, Tom Palmer is the inker, Paul Mounts, VC's Corey Petit, and then, of course, Alex Ross on the cover. Man, Marvel really worked Alex Ross to do a ton of these Immortal Hulk covers. So this issue was a nice breath of fresh air. Nice breath of fresh air after a couple of what I felt were like stale arcs. The Zen Mew stuff was kind of cool, but I'm glad that whole thing with that whole Roxanne Minotaur thing is over with. This is kind of like a Legion origin issue, kind of like a retcon in a way that kind of shows how Legion has come back to life so many times throughout the history of Marvel, right? And it ties into the Green Door stuff, so I thought that was really smart. It was a fun issue. Looks like we're going to get more leader stuff next issue, but it was fun, kept my attention. Artwork was, typical Marvel type of artwork. And Al Ewing, I mean, he writes in a way that keeps you interested, right? You kind of want to see what's happening on the next panel, and it's really refreshing. So I can see why people like Immortal Hulk. I didn't like those last 2 arcs, but it looks like we're getting a little bit back on track here. All right, we got the last book from Marvel. This is Avengers Empire, issue 0, another Al Ewing book. And who do we have on here? Pepe Larrazas and Marte Garcia. So this was kind of an oversized book, I felt like, and we're getting some background on what's going to happen with this Empire event, which is going to be huge. It ties into a bunch of titles. There's a lot of new titles that are happening along with it. And basically, you know how we had the Kree-Skrull War? Well, now the Kree and Skrull are declaring war on humans. So we have a trip to the moon, to the blue area of the moon, which is now a garden. And we meet up with an old Avenger, one of the earlier Avengers who you don't see anymore, but he's kind of taken a different shape. How do I feel about it? I mean, it was just okay. Nothing mind-blowing, nothing groundbreaking, but I didn't dislike it. So, we'll see where it goes. We're going to jump over to DC Black Label with Joe Hill's Hill House Comics. This is the Joe Hill, Stuart Immonen, and Dave Stewart Plunge issue 4. Wow, man, they really went to right field with this one. We just got really science fiction-y here. But I'm really digging it, man. I kind of like where they're going with this. And I'm realizing that they're wrapping a lot of these series up in 6 issues. So around issue 4 and 5 is, we start to make big leaps into the plot here. So not really much I can say without spoiling it. The zombies from the crash ship that happened, 40, 50 years ago. We find out how these people are still alive and how they're zombies. And they're investigating this, what do they call it? This rock, for lack of a better term, that basically if human eyes see it, they will kill anything or anyone to get it, right? And they kind of explain the feeling that they get inside when this happens. So I don't want to spoil it if you're reading Plunge, but it definitely takes a turn that I wasn't expecting, which is fun. The last one from Joe Hill's Hill House Comics, DC Black Label. This is the Lola Woods, issue 6. This wraps up this miniseries. This is by Carmen Maria Machado, Donnie, and Tamra Bonvillain. I don't think I'm saying that right. So the thing about Lola Woods, it really ended in issue 5. And this issue 6 was really more of an epilogue. So issue 5 was a huge issue, was a banger. All the questions went answered. And this one kind of just tied up the loose ends. So overall, I really like this. It might have actually ended up being one of my favorites. This could definitely be its own movie. I don't know about a show because with the 6 issues, they'd have to really add a lot to it. But man, it feels like it could be a movie. I think issue 1 was kind of weird. This issue was kind of just like I said, a little epilogue. So from issues 2 to 5, you had a lot going on, man. But yeah, definitely liked Lola Woods. All right, we're gonna jump into the regular DC. So the pick of the week is gonna be a DC book, right? It's not this one. This is Batman 93, James Tynion IV. You got March, Fernandez, Mori, and Barron. So we continue with the Punchline Harley Quinn showdown. That ends shockingly. And I don't think that's how it's going to end, but where it leaves off is kind of mind-blowing. You got a Batman designer showdown, and Batman basically detective skill styling, explaining to the designer what his plan is. There are some things that I think Batman didn't really account for, and maybe not so much his fault, maybe more of Catwoman's fault. She's playing a part in this role. She's kind of a good guy now, but she was initially part of the designer's grand scheme. So I think that comes back to bite a little bit. But loving Tynion's Batman run. I think it was a great issue, solid issue. Yeah. All right, let's jump over to Justice League 47. I recently just jumped onto this run. Super strong issue. First of all, this is Venditti, Barrows, Ferreira, and Fajardo Jr. The artwork in this book is amazing. I mean, the first splash page, you have this fight with the Justice League and this big god. What's his name? Tardis. And it's funny, they explain it to him like, how humans tell stories about the boogeyman to kids? This is what gods tell stories of to scare the other gods. This big Tardis. And you have amazing artwork. I love the whole Jim Corrigan Spectre thing. It was amazing. This was a great issue, man. The artwork throughout was amazing. Like every page, every panel. Some of it even looked painted. A lot of cool spreads with the Spectre, with the greens and everything. Really strong issue. I was digging it. We got Aquaman 60. What is that? Kelly Sue DeConnick? Is that her name? Mendoza Fajardo Jr. Aquaman 60, I think it was probably my least favorite out of my pull this week. And it wasn't that it was bad. Actually, the underwater scenes, the artwork was dope, man. Anything that was in the water was really, really well drawn and colored. The story, it just kind of felt like a little bit of a filler to get from last issue to the next issue. I don't want to talk any spoilers, but Aquaman's trying to find his daughter. We kind of find out what happens with that. But now the next issue looks like it's going to get good. Now that I can't spoil it. So, next issue should be the good one. All right, jumped onto Batman Beyond 44. Always like Batman Beyond. This is the first issue I'm jumping into here. You got Jurgens, Chen, Parsons, and Sotomayor. So this is part 2 of the arc. What is it called again? Cataclysmic or something like that. I feel like I haven't missed a beat from watching the show. You got Terry McGinnis. He's dealing with Bruce Wayne. That's like his oracle. What's cool about this is you have a grown-up Damian Wayne in the mix. And he's been, I guess he got messed up in a previous issue. The League of Assassins are after them. So it's a fun issue. And you have this sidekick dude who's with Terry. Man, I got to see. What's his name? It's kind of like a Red Dragon type of character. Eradication Agenda is the storyline. Dan Jurgens. Yeah, so Goliath is the big dragon creature, and he's kind of like a mindless beast. He can't really talk. He just says snorf and garf, and it's kind of like whatever. But I like his design. He kind of reminds me of like the Never-Ending Story dragon, but not as big. But I was digging it, man. Like I said, I was able to jump right in. I have basic knowledge of the characters and of this kind of futuristic Gotham. So I'm going to continue to read Batman Beyond. Then we got the Flash 756. This starts a new arc. We're done with the whole Paradox stuff. This is Williamson, Duce, and Guerrero. Amazing artwork here. You know what's funny? I feel like they kind of stole this panel from the Daniel Bell Sideshow Flash Premium format. I mean, does that not look exactly like the same pose? That kind of Olympic runner's pose? Anyway, the art in Flash is amazing. You have Reverse Flash. Looks like he's putting together a Legion of Doom. He's going around getting all these rogues together. I guess he's planning to kill Flash. I mean, what else is new, right? And then Flash is trying to get all of the Flash family kind of out of harm's way. And he wants to kill Reverse Flash for killing Godspeed in the last issue. So digging it. I'm glad I kind of caught up and I'm able to follow through with Flash because it seems like a really fun run. I didn't spoil my pick of the week this time. This was my pick of the week. Jeff Lemire, Andrea Sorrentino, Jordi Belair, the same team from Gideon Falls, the same team that did Joker Smile. This is the follow-up, which is the Batman the Smile Killer. So this is an amazing run, man. It's kind of like, well, I say run, but this is the first issue or the first book. But kind of what they did with that psychiatrist in the Joker Smile is being done to Batman now. And it's kind of like they're messing with his mind. Is it the Joker? Is it someone else? Going back to Bruce's childhood? Or is it all in his mind? It's a super interesting, fun book. I love the creative team. This is the Jeff Lemire I know. Andrea, his artwork is amazing. I love his paneling. I love his dark, gritty, shadowy type of artwork. My pick of the week for sure. I knew I was going to love this, and it lived up to the hype. So you guys definitely need to be checking this out. You should read Joker Smile before you jump into this. It just makes it better. You could read this without that, but the psychiatrist does make an appearance here, so you should probably check out Joker Smile first. So that is my haul for this week, guys. I want to know what was your pick of the week down in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We're almost at 90,000 subscribers. We're headed for that 100K. Hit the notification bell so you're made aware every time we release new content. I drop videos every day at 11 a.m. Eastern. But I'm going to start doing some more things, man. Some more impromptu lives. I'm going to be trying some new thing out where we're sharing clips from the live so that you don't have to watch a whole hour or whatever. Just little excerpts or whatever like that. So make sure to hit that bell, hit that like button, and you guys stay minty fresh. Peace.